stay out here.
Hey,
Easy,
folks.
stay out here.
Hello, man.
Exy, and...
There's lots of new people.
Well, I know Porcelana. Why is Porcelana not my friend?
Oh boy. Leave
Where's
her
Aw,
alone.
maybe because I said some call it ugly, some
Abby's
call
here.
it
Hey,
H-spot.
Abby Pepper.
Us three over
I
here
don't-
kind of new. We found an ad
I don't
in this
see
place. More
Porcelana
likely like
yet.
stand-up comedy. Let's
I did. I saw Porcelana just a second
Well, found the
ago.
right place.
She's
We have some
not
really good
on.
clubs there.
She's
Isn't that
online. I
weird?
saw
Oh,
her
she
online.
just got on. Okay.
Just got online.
Okay, it's my turn now, right?
Yeah,
Right.
your turn,
Yeah,
Johnny.
sure,
Go ahead.
whatever.
Take your turn. Get it over.
Okay.
Here comes Johnny with a specker in his hand. He's a one-ball man and he's off to the rodeo.
Damn,
Down and left, down and right.
damn, damn.
Come on, you fucking dummy, get your right step right. Get off the stage, you goddamn fool, you know.
Oh my goodness.
You pissed me off.
It's Abby.
You
Okay.
Fucking loser.
you
Get
get it
it
all
on.
right.
Yours?
And then there's Abby Pepper. Hello, Abby.
Abby,
What a
is she
joy
Abby
to
or
see
Pepper?
you. It's so nice
When
to
is
see
she
you, Abby.
tonight?
And there's
Abby
Abby.
Rose. It's Abby Rose tonight. Hello.
Pick up truck. I don't give a fucking amount.
Hey, there's
Happy's here. Happy. Smiles and
Still
waves.
falling in. Great.
Ah,
Come on, come
Talk to
on.
us, Nick. Talk to us.
You
Hugs,
sure, Nick?
Halfway.
I'm waiting still for clouds to stop falling.
Clowns?
come on, just not all at once.
Oh, clouds. Okay.
I was
Yeah,
having
Abby,
technical
Abby,
difficulties.
Abby.
Duh.
Aww.
Okay.
I think I'm getting straightened out,
Well, click your
It's
mic,
so nice to be
Abby Rose.
but I don't really know.
We don't hear you, why not?
embracing you.
I hear.
Hello,
I
Abby
guess
Pepper.
everybody can hear me.
I can
We
hear
hear
you.
you.
I can hear me. I shouldn't.
We
hear
don't
100% her voice isn't
Because I'm
working, but she
standing right
can
in front
hear.
of you, so I should be able to.
Abby. I mean,
I don't hear nobody.
All right. Well, must be working. All right, everybody. Welcome to Hooligans Underground on this
Yay!
fabulous
All right.
Tuesday evening, and welcome to Standing Room Only. Yeah. This will be our pre-Mardi Gras episode.
Free Mardi
So-
Gras.
That's
oh,
right. Next week, Tuesday, is Mardi Gras Day.
oh.
If I ain't drunk in a gutter somewhere, we'll be doing comedy here.
Oh, well, I guess we're not having it. Oh,
I
well.
mean, even if you
Well,
is,
you'd
you
be
probably
talking
will
about
be
me and
anyway.
Lisa then.
Well, there's plenty capable people here. Take over.
Plenty.
More funnier than me, too.
Oh my
I tell
God.
you. Because you know how I know? I never, ever make myself laugh. If I ever laugh,
Oh
it's
my
because of
God.
something y'all say.
You've been looking in the mirror, huh? Wow.
Even
You may be
looking in
funny,
the mirror.
but, you know, looks aren't everything.
True.
Good thing.
Thank God.
Good thing I know how to swing a hammer. Drive a
Hi,
truck.
Porcelana.
I'm driving the truck.
Oh, it's working. Yay. Hey.
All right.
You make me buzz.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Good.
3
The
o'clock.
Holiday Inn
Oh.
Wait, that didn't come out right.
down there in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Billy.
The desk clerk gets a phone call from a very drunk Boudreaux.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I think I told y'all this one last week. Act like y'all didn't hear it.
I wasn't
Oh,
here.
I'm sorry.
I'll laugh.
I don't remember it.
Okay. Well,
Hi,
the clerk got a phone call from a very drunk sounding
Hi,
Boudreaux, asking what time the bar opens. The clerk says, well, it opens at noon. Now, about an hour later, the clerk gets another phone call from an even drunker Boudreaux.
Oh,
At what time does the bar open? I'm supposed to be saying that in a drunken voice.
yeah.
You're doing a good job.
I don't know how to sound drunk.
You can do it.
Clerk says same time as before, noon. Now, another hour passes and Boudreaux calls again. Now this time, he's plastered. He said, what time does the bar open? I wish I knew how to sound like a drunk. The clerk getting more than a little bit pissed off with this shit. He said, I done told you that it opens at noon. If you absolutely can't wait, I can have room service bring you something. Boudreaux said, no. I don't want to get in the bar. I want to get out. I really got to learn how to do it drunk. I'm going to start watching videos.
Watch some
Yeah,
fucking.
there's a famous comic he used to dress up in the
Yeah, Foster Brooks.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Foster Brooks.
Every once in a while.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
one more quick joke, then we'll get started with the real funny stuff. Alright, Boudreaux, he goes to visit an old voodoo woman way back up in the swamp. He asks the old woman, he says, can you remove a curse on me? I've been living with this shit 50 years.
Oh.
The old woman says that she probably can, but she needs to know the exact words of the curse. You know, because you gotta, like, repeat it in reverse or some shit. Oh, yeah. The exact words was, I now pronounce you man and wife. Poor old Boudreaux, huh? Poor Boudreaux couldn't find him no happiness. Alright. I should probably move the video. I've been recording the back of my head for the whole time. Alright, y'all. I think, Endora, you want to come up here first? See you charging.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, everybody. Let's welcome up Endora.
Good evening, everybody. Ladies and germs, how are ya?
Ladies and germs.
As some of you know, as I've said before, and some of you are new here,
Me.
thank you for that nice applause, that I am now a retired and emergency room physician.
Nice. I wish I
So, some of you know that already, and they're going, yeah, we know it already. But some of you don't. And you know that doctors and nurses and technicians and medical people, we got the world's sickest sense of humor. And when we have a few moments between each other, we're always slapping jokes around. So I got a book I could pretty much write. I'm going to share some of that with you, and I figured you'd enjoy it. So I got a kid. Also want to make a mention too, on a health note and a mental health note, that humor is the best medicine.
Yes.
So
That's true.
that's always the best thing to do. Gonna warn you, my computer's acting up a little bit, so if I pop out, it's because my computer's acting up. So one day, there was a doctor friend of mine, and he loved to bust his mother's chops. Just loved to bust her. And he called up his mother. He'd say, Mom, this is Josh. She'd go, yeah, Josh, what's up? She says, Mom, don't freak out, but I'm in the hospital. She looked at him and said, she said to him, really? Joshua Vincent, you have been a doctor now for over 8 years. Please stop starting every phone conversation with that. So, another one of these jokes was, and this comes from a gastro guy, it says, hey, yeah, he says the gentleman comes in, he's got to have his prostate exam. And the doctor said to the doctor, where should I, when I take my pants off, where should I put them? And he said, over there on the chair with mine.
Oh, damn.
So, and hang on this. I know. But you know what? That's the kind of sick people that doctors can be. They could be the world's worst. And bear with me, because now my computer's blinking again. So please bear with me on this if I go a little slow. I do have my little cheat notes that I do write. only because I'm old and I forget things. So I have to kind of go through and reboot my, my computer a little bit and redo things so my notes will show up. So surgeons are one of the biggest comedians of the planet. And you know what?
This is gonna be good.
Right before a surgery, the surgeon says, "Relax, Jim. It's just a small scalpel incision. No reason to panic. You're going to be healthy. You're going to recover quickly." And the patient replies, "But doctor, my name is not Jim."
Yeah.
And the surgeon responds, "I know, I'm Jim." So, the gastro guy that I worked with, he used to come in, he said, "You know what, this patient says to me, said once, he says, after my prostate exam, the doctor left. And then the nurse came in later with a worried look on her face and saying the 3 words I was dreading to hear. She looked at the patient and said, 'Who was that?'" And, oh yeah. Yeah, that's just something. And once in a while, the dermatology guys get involved. And I'll tell you what, these guys are something else. They show pictures. And even some of those pictures. Yeah, they do. And they show us pictures, and I'm like, ooh. I said, "You can handle that. I'll take care of the shaved off limbs and whatever." So this one dermatologist says to me, a pirate goes into the doctor and says, "I have moles on me back, argh." And the doctor says, "It's okay, they're benign." Pirate says, "No, count them again. I think there'll be 10.
They be 10. Cute.
It'd be 9. No, they'd be 10.
It'd be 10. Yeah, I'm glad you got that because it took me a minute to get that story. I had to look at him kind of funny. So we get these calls, during COVID especially, we get the call. We had the telemed, and I'll tell you what, talk about a nightmare. Woman calls me up. I'm on the telemed line. She says on the phone, "My husband accidentally swallowed an aspirin. What should I do now?" I very politely told her, I said, "Give him a headache." And you know what? You know why doctors are always calm? Because they have lots of patience.
True.
But I'm bummed.
And I'll tell you what, again, the telemeds. The patients call up and says, "Hey, doctor, Dr. McAndrews, I have a pain in my eye whenever I drink tea." And I said, "Well, what are you putting in the tea?" I said, I'm trying to help this person figure out. Maybe there's this tea that's really high octane and caffeine and other ginseng and other stuff that could, send you into orbit. And the woman says, and after this phone conversation, I want to mention, I almost asked her if she was blonde. I said, "What do you put in your tea?" She says, "Well, I'm putting just a tea bag and a spoon with, a little bit of honey, and I stir it with a spoon." I said, "Well, take the spoon out of your mug." "I have a pain in my eye whenever I drink tea." She says, "Well, take the spoon out of your mug." And it's always fun to work with the dementia patients because they're going to make you feel bad that they're losing their memory, but they give you a little bit of humor to deal with something that you have no control over, that you can't fix. And that's a very frustrating thing to any healthcare professional. They can't fix it. And it's very hard. It weighs on their minds. But, when you tell a patient you have high blood pressure and amnesia, and the patient will come back and say to you, "Well, at least I don't have high blood pressure."
True.
And you know what? This one doctor told his patient to stop using a Q-tip, but it went in one ear and out the other.
Ooh, ouch.
And again, telemed medicine. Patient says to me, please help me. I can't stop my hands from shaking. And I said, well, I said, do you drink often? Patient says, not really. I end up spilling most of it. Caught me on that one. They caught me on that one. And you know what? Here's the one that we actually have, this little card that was sitting up in the scrub room. Doctor says to a patient, you're very ill. Patient says, it's okay if I get a second opinion. And the doctor says, of course, you're very ugly too. So here's one that's really fun. And again, you work with the cardiac guys too. You work with the cardiologist people, and they're a bunch of riots, and especially their handlers are even worse. A handler is somebody that's like a PA or a nurse practitioner that works with the main surgeon or the main doctor. So in any case, and again, of course, my note thing is going to stick, but oh well. Middle-aged woman had a heart attack and was sent to the hospital. And while she was on the operating table, because she was going to have catheterization done, she did come very close to death and had to have that opportunity to. She had that opportunity to speak with God, and she asked him. She says, "Is my time up?" She asked him, and no, God answered, "You still have 40 years, 5 months, and 3 days to live." Upon recovery, the woman felt very sublime. She was like, well, she decided that if it had so much time left to live, maybe she might make the most of it. Therefore, she had a facelift, a tummy tuck, her hair dyed before exiting the hospital. Okay, so you know this is a story. After her tummy tuck was over, she was released from the hospital. However, while crossing the street on the way out, she was hit by a car immediately. And died. When arriving in front of God, the woman asked, I thought you said I had 40 years. Why didn't you save me? God said, I didn't recognize you. And here's one for you. How do you find a doctor that how do you find that doctor was fake? How do you find a doctor that's fake? They have good handwriting.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
Not always. Why not? Because I have really good handwriting.
Well, you're one of very few. I'm gonna say that.
Here you go.
I can read it. I can read it because I was a teacher and I can read anybody's writing. Yeah.
So here you go. Does an apple a day really keep the doctor away?
Yes.
Yeah. Like if you throw it hard enough.
Only if you aim it well enough. You have been a lovely audience. Thank you very much.
Hey, Andorra! Whoa, Nelly!
Very nice.
All right, big hand for Endora, y'all.
Thank you.
Endora.
Well done, Dora.
My whistler isn't whistling too good. Ow.
Whistlers ain't whistling.
No, I gotta wet my whip.
Well, that's an applause.
Thank you.
All right, well, while you do that, Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they went down to the crawfish plant to apply for a job. Now, the manager, he told them the first thing they would have to do is take a written test. About 2 hours later, they finished that test. 2 hours. And the manager scored it. A few minutes later, he came back in the room and told them that they both passed the test.
Oh.
But he only going to hire Boudreaux.
Oh,
As you can imagine, Thibodeau wasn't too happy about that. Thibodeau jumped up and he started hollering. He said, man, if we both pass the test, how come Boudreaux get the job and I don't? Well, the manager says, well, because of the very last question on the test. Boudreaux there answered, I don't know. And you answered, me neither. Alright. Lisa, you want to come up here and take up where we finished last week?
Ah, Lisa!
Alright, let me get out the
I missed
way.
last week.
Oh, good time to freeze up. Right here,
Aw,
double click between the ladies. Yeah,
thank you.
Yay, Gleesma!
Ah,
Hey, Lisa!
hi, everybody.
hello.
You know what? Today was a great day. I went grocery shopping. I haven't been in a while. It's so cold out, but today was beautiful. And I've decided that I love older men in the grocery store. I do. This guy came up to me on a lark with a mask on, and I'm standing at the eggs, which are now $8.99 a dozen. But I did, I did find some medium white eggs for $3.50. But I'm standing there. Comes up to me and he goes, speeds up in his lark. He goes, "You won't be coloring Easter eggs this year. You won't be coloring eggs." He goes, "You're gonna have to use potatoes." Hey. And as I'm leaving the grocery store, I got, empty the cart, into the car, and I'm going to push it. Older man comes up to me, and I'm beginning to think maybe it's me. Maybe I'm old enough that I need help. He takes the cart from me, but that was my experience today.
That's nice, Sam.
Wow!
You should have.
I asked him to take the cart and push it into the return for me. I was like, it was like not that far away, but maybe it looked like I couldn't make it. I don't know. I hadn't started drinking, so I know that wasn't it. What do you get? What do you get when you cross a turtle and a snowman?
What?
A snowpoke.
Oh no.
A snowpoke!
How does an angel light a candle?
Wow.
With a match made in heaven.
The match made in heaven.
Which has more courage, a rock or a tree? A rock, because it's bolder.
Boulder.
It's a boulder. And what do you get when you stare at a tree? Petrified wood. When you stare at a tree,
What?
petrified wood.
Oh
And why should you go in the woods when you're tired?
yeah. Why?
For rest.
Oh, Forrest. Forrest.
Okay.
You're killing it.
I know those were the stupid ones from the joke calendar. Still working on that. The swordfish has no predators to fear, except maybe the penfish, which is supposed to be mightier.
The pen mightier than the sword.
I wanted to know what the fear of question marks was, but I was afraid to ask. I used to have a fear of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over it.
Slowly getting over.
That on the old.
And I was diagnosed with the fear of giants. Yeah, it's called phobia. I also have a fear of complicated buildings. It's a complex.
Oh,
Oh.
And what part of the hospital do they fear the most?
What?
I see you.
I see you.
Peekaboo.
Oh.
You naked little
And
bitch.
what do you call the fear of being trapped in a chimney? Claustrophobia.
Phobia.
Claustrophobia.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things I'll never understand people who fear change. It's like they have no sense at all. So a young blonde fears her husband is having an affair. So she goes to a shop and buys a handgun. The next day, she comes home to find her husband in bed with a beautiful redhead. She grabs the gun and holds it to her head. The husband jumps up and pleads with her not to shoot herself. And the hysterical blonde tells him, "Shut up, you're next." A bodybuilder takes off his shirt and starts flexing in front of a beautiful blonde woman. She exclaims, "Wow, what a great chest you have." He says, "Solid dynamite, babe." He then takes his pants off, and the blonde says, "What massive calves you have." He flexes his muscles and says, "Like I said, pure dynamite, sweetie." Then he removes his underwear, and the blonde goes running and screaming in fear. He gets dressed and goes chasing the woman. When he catches her, he asks, "Why the hell did you run off like that?" She looks at him and she goes, "I was afraid to be around all that dynamite when I saw how short the fuse was." And that's all I have tonight.
Please rock.
Awesome.
All right, big hand for Gleason, y'all.
Yeah, Gleason.
That's good, Lisa.
All right, whoever's up next.
I have some.
I got
Hey,
some.
Carson. Let's go, Carson. Woo!
All right, too late now. Kirsten, you're too slow.
I guess I don't gotta find the joke I was gonna find.
I guess I thought you said who's up next.
Well, yeah, usually after I tell a joke, but go ahead.
Well, I know, but you said who's up next, so I guess I'll stand back up and go back to my...
Go.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Jeez, I thought you said who's up next, so that's what I did. And a man in...
Parse to the sentence, but go ahead.
Well, you're too fucking slow, buddy. Man's waiting in line at Grand Central Station, wanting to get back to Pennsylvania for the holidays. The line's really, really long, and he literally waits for hours. He's exhausted. He reaches the front of the goddamn line just to see the woman behind the ticket window is this gorgeous blonde. She's really got the largest natural breasts he's ever seen. And he's stunned, and he blurts out, "Hi, I need 2 tickets to Pittsburgh." The woman looks at him wide-eyed, not sure what he'd said, and the man hasn't realized a thing about what he said. He thinks maybe she didn't hear him, and he says again, louder, not realizing his mistake, I just need 2 tickets to Pittsburgh." This time he hears himself, and he realizes what he said, and the woman, convinced what she heard, she looks really pissed off at him, and the man's stunned. He says, I'm so sorry. I'm really tired. I just want to go home. I just need 2 tickets to Pittsburgh." And he slaps his hand on his mouth, stunned at what he said again, and the woman is starting to call security. And the man's doom feeling. Suddenly there's a touch on his elbow from behind, and he turns around, and there's an older man. White hair, white beard, wearing a tweed jacket with a suede patch on the elbows, and the man says, "Son, relax, I'm a psychologist. What's happening to you is called a Freudian slip. You mean to say one thing, but what's really on your mind comes out. In fact, it happened to me just last night. I meant to say to my wife, 'Honey, would you please pass the salt?' Instead, I accidentally said, 'You bitch, you fucking ruined my life!' In the Great Desert, there lived a bunch of nomads. Oh, I'm going to do a Nick night. I'm doing recycled jokes, okay? If you guys haven't heard them, good. If you have, don't give me the punchline. In the Great Desert lived a bunch of nomads.
Big night, huh?
Benny, he had risen his rank because of his magnificent beard. His people believed a man's strength and courage came from the beard, so the man with the biggest beard would be the chief. Well, after he led the band for many years, Benny began to feel uncomfortable wearing this beard in this hot, dusty land he lived in. So he wanted to shave it off, so he calls the council together to get their advice. And when he said he wanted to shave, the councilmen were shocked. One guy said, "Do you now remember the ancient legend, sire? The leader who removes his beard is cursed and made into a piece of earthenware." Benny had heard the legend, but being a modern man, he scoffed at the tale. Being headstrong, he went ahead and cut and scraped away his once magnificent beard, and as the final whisker was cut off, a huge dust storm came up. Lasted just a few seconds, and when it cleared, there's a man-sized clay vessel where only moments before had stood their leader. The council then knew that legend must be true. Their conclusion? A Benny shaved is a Benny earned. The American native chief had 3 wives, and each was pregnant. First gave birth to a boy, and the chief was so elated, he built her a teepee made of deer hide. A few days later, the second gave birth, also a boy. The chief was very happy. He built her a teepee made out of antelope hide. The third wife, she gave birth to just a few days later, but the chief kept the details a secret. He built this one a 2-story teepee made out of a hippopotamus hide. And the chief challenged the tribe to guess what had occurred. Many had tried unsuccessfully, but finally one young brave declared the third wife had given birth to twin boys. "Well, that's correct," said the chief, "but how did you figure that out?" And the warrior said, "It's elementary. The value of the squaw of the hippopotamus is equal to the sons of the squaws of the other 2 hides." I guess if you're not a mathematician, you don't get that one, but anyway.
I had my mic off, but I was laughing. You guys saw the whatever triangle thing, right? Maybe?
Yes. Alright, so man was walking home alone one night and he heard a bump, bump, bump behind him. Walking faster, he looks back, making out an image of an upright coffin banging its way down the middle of the street right toward him. He starts running toward home. The coffin bounces faster and faster after him. He runs to his door, fumbling with his keys, opens the door, rushes in, locks it behind him. The coffin crashed through the door with the lid of the coffin clapping on the heels of this terrified man. And rushed upstairs to the bathroom, locked himself in with his heart pounding. With a crash, the coffin broke down the door, coming slowly toward him. The man, while screaming, reached for something, anything. All he could find is a box of cough drops, which he hurled at the coffin, and suddenly the coffin stops.
I like that one.
Wife got so mad at her husband she packed his bags and told him to get the hell out. As he walked to the door, she yelled, "I hope you die a long, slow, painful death." And he turned around and said, "Oh, so now you want me to stay?" During my checkup, I asked the doctor, "You think I'll live a long and healthy life then?" He said, I doubt it somehow. Mercury is in Uranus right now." I said, "I don't go for that astrology shit." He said, "Neither do I. My thermometer just broke in your ass." And my last one for tonight. A young Native American asked the tribal elder, "How do our people come up with the names for the newborn baby?" "Well," the elder says, "we take inspiration from nature to come up with names. For example, do you see the stream over there? If a baby were to be born right now, we might call him Running Brook." "Oh. Also, do you see the way the sun lights the sky in such a dramatic color right now? If a baby were born now, we might call her Red Cloud. But I wonder, Why do you have such a sudden interest in the ways of our tribe? Our two fucking dogs.
It's the punchline, damn it. I couldn't.
Okay, that's it. Boys and girls.
Alright, big hand for Wyvern, y'all. Alright, who else got jokes tonight?
I do.
Kirsten does. Alright, one quick joke and then we're gonna call Kirsten. Boudreaux called Marie on the phone. He said, Miss Chef, I just won the lottery. Go pack your bags. Marie, that's great, Boudreaux, but I don't know whether to pack for the heat or for the cold. Where we going? Boudreaux says, I don't care what you pack. Just get out of my house. Alright, since that was so short, one more quick one. Thibodeau sees Boudreaux putting signs up all over town. They say, boat for sale. Thibodeau said, man, Boudreaux, what you mean boat for sale? You ain't got no boat. All you got is a tractor and a pickup truck. Boudreaux said, yeah, that's right. And they boat for sale. Alright, who's coming? Kirsten?
Hey, Kirsten!
Yeah.
Alright, everybody, let's welcome up Kirsten.
Yay, buddy.
It's gonna be good, y'all.
Hey, Kirsten.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Good.
So, the CEOs of Budweiser, Coors, Killian's, and Guinness all enter a bar. The bartender starts taking orders. The CEO of Budweiser says, I'll take a Bud Light. It's crisp, refreshing, and doesn't hurt the budget. The bartender moves down the line. The CEO of Coors says, I'll take a Coors Light. It's colder, even more refreshing, and won't give you a beer gut. The bartender moves down the line again. The CEO of Killian's says, these guys are amateurs. Give me a Killian's Irish Red. It's smooth, flavorful, and distinct. The bartender moves once again on down the line. The CEO of Guinness says, I'll have a water. The others all give a confused look. The bartender says, but, why aren't you ordering a beer? He responds, well, nobody else did.
Unfortunately, we don't have that anymore. Oh well.
3 women are sick of their boss. He's always leaving for work early on a Tuesday. One Tuesday, they all agree to wait 20 minutes after the boss has left, then sneak out themselves. Their boss would never find out. The brunette left and decided to go shopping. The redhead decided to hit the gym before meeting some friends for drinks. The blonde decided to go home and surprise her husband, but when she arrives home, she heard noises in the bedroom. She slowly walked up, peeked through the door, and saw her husband in bed with her boss. Mortified, she closed the door and crept out of the house. The next day, back at work, the girls met up and discussed if they should all skip out early again next week. No way, said the blonde. Yesterday, I almost got caught. The monkeys, not like animals in the zoo, but the monkeys like, hey, I'm a believer, monkeys, the singers. The monkeys visit a bar every Tuesday. Each time they visit, they never finish their drinks, leaving them for the waiter to tidy up. One night, the waiter approaches Mickey Dolenz. Excuse me, sir, you waste $30 on drinks every Tuesday that just get thrown down the drain. Why do you do it? Mickey turns to the waiter and smiles. Haven't you heard? I'm a beer leaver.
I'm a beer leaver.
I actually screwed that up saying, and they sing that song. Anyway, a priest is sitting inside the church when a guy comes in and asks to be confessed. Very well, my child, says the priest as he leads the man into the confession booth. Tell me about your sins. Well, Father, says the guy, on Monday I was at my girlfriend's house, and well, the two of us alone, the house empty. I sinned, Father. Don't worry, child, says the priest. It's perfectly normal to have such desires and share them with your partner. Nothing serious. Just say 2 prayers and you will be cleansed of your sins. But Father, continues the man, it doesn't end there. On Tuesday I was at my girlfriend's house again, but she had gone out with her mates, and the only one there was her sister. And well, the 2 of us alone, the house empty. I sinned again, Father. Oh, child, says the Father, you must be strong and fight those urges. 8 prayers shall cleanse you of your sins. But Father, says the bloke again, on Wednesday I was at my girlfriend's house again, and she wasn't there then either. And the only one at home was her mum. And well, the 2 of us alone, the house empty. Again I sinned, Father.
Oh, my Lord.
Good Lord, said the priest. Child, you must think about what you do. So pray. But Father, interrupts the bloke, on Thursday I was at my girlfriend's house again, and the whole family had gone to the shop, and the only one there was her aunt, and well, the 2 of us alone, the house empty. I sinned yet again, Father. The priest falls silent. And then, continues the bloke, on Friday I was at her house again. They'd gone out for the weekend, and only one there was her granny, and yada, yada, yada. The priest still did not answer. And on Saturday, said the bloke, I went to her house again, and there was nobody there except for her father. And well, the man awaits a reply. But upon hearing none, he exits the booth, only to find the priest up on the belfry. Father, he calls, what are you doing up there? I haven't finished. Back off, I'm not coming down, said the priest. The 2 of us alone, the church is fucking empty, and I don't want you to sin anymore. Okay, last one. It's a rainy Tuesday, and a dwarf lady runs to a doctor's office in tears. She sobs and tells the doctor, I can't stand it anymore. Every time it rains, I get a terrible pain in my crotch. Can you help me? The doctor is rightly baffled by this, so he asks the lady to get on the table so he can examine her. Straight away he says, I can see the issue, and I'm sure I can do something about it. He goes to his cabinet and he pulls out a huge pair of scissors. Asks the lady to lie still, lifts her dress up, and starts snipping away. She's initially terrified, but there's no pain, so she just lies still while he works. After a few minutes, he asks her to climb down and go back out into the rain and to come back and tell him how she feels. She goes out, and 5 minutes later, she comes back in beaming from ear to ear. Doctor, it's amazing. There's no pain anymore, and it feels wonderful. What did you do to cure me? The doctor says, I trimmed an inch off the top of your Wellington boots. And that's all I got.
Hey!
Big hand for Kirsty, y'all.
Thank you.
Well done, Carson.
Right.
Very good job.
That was funny. I like that last one. That was it.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
Alright, y'all. I got one that's might be good. Alright, little Tofield Boudreaux. He came home from a date with his girlfriend. And of course, Big Boudreaux, him being a little concerned that T was spending too much money on dates lately, asked how much they had spent that night. And little T says, oh, I guess about maybe 15, maybe $14, Papa. Well, Boudreaux, he was relieved that he was finally being responsible about his spending habits, and told him so. He said, "I'm very proud of you, son." Little T says, "Well, we probably would have spent more, but that's all she had." It's getting real good with us.
My kid.
That's like almost as good as getting married. All right. Who's up next? Who wants to come up here?
Next.
Yeah. You absolutely can.
Yay!
I heard
Jim
you.
Blow!
All right,
Yay!
everybody, let's welcome up Jim.
Hey, Jim! Go, buddy!
Hey, Jimbo.
Thank you. I heard what do you get when you cross joke earlier, and it reminded me of my favorite what do you get when you cross joke. What do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros? Elephino.
What?
If I know.
Elephino. Studies show that men's prostate health is better if they ejaculate 21 times a month.
Oh
See, 21 divided by 31. I guess I'm good till October.
Wow.
That's 4 or 5 times a week. I don't know if I have the hand strength.
How's it doing that, buddy?
When I was a kid, my father told me not to masturbate too often. I'd go blind. I said, "Dad, I'm over here."
That's funny.
I went to a whorehouse the other day, for prostate health reasons, and there was a sign reading closed. Beat it. I used to masturbate when I was on a plane, but I was afraid they'd charge me with hijacking. Went to the movies and sat next to a couple of young ladies the other day, and one next to me said to the other one, "This guy over here is doing something in his pants." The other girl says, "Ignore him." I thought, well, that's going to be difficult. I was using her hand.
Don't fall asleep on a plane next to a guy. Just for girls.
BCK. When I jerk off, I'm having sex with the one I love most.
So, good.
I did feel the ultimate rejection the other day. My hand fell asleep. Planned a threesome and it went well despite a couple of no-shows. I heard laptops can damage your sperm. It's even worse the other way around.
Yeah.
Masturbate with the common cold. Alas, it doesn't save tissues. No, you're getting old if you're only thinking of your nose when you buy tissues.
Yeah.
Don't forget the lotion.
Sending RSVP cards to people I invited to a charity event for people with difficulty having orgasms. The cards read, "Let me know if you can't come." A recent survey showed 43% of women have used vibrators, so 57% must have bought them new.
That's funny. Yippers.
Writing a book about porn habits around the world. I came up with the title first. What's the world coming to? If you think jacking off is all pleasure, remember, like anything, it has its ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
You know why women fake orgasms? Because men fake foreplay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the guy you're laughing at.
Women fake orgasms to have relationships, and men do the opposite. Fake relationships.
It's evil. You go to hell for telling that joke.
Evil but true. A woman in nursing school is attending a lecture on involuntary muscles, and the instructor asked her if she knew what her asshole does during orgasm. She answered, yeah, home taking care of the kids.
That's a good one.
I sat next to a woman the other day who sneezed and she wiped her vagina. I asked her, what's going on? She told me she has an orgasm every time she sneezes. I asked her, what do you take for it? And she said, pepper.
Alright, big hand for Jim, y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey, Nick.
hey, good job.
10 minutes on masturbation, and you go, give him a big hand.
Yeah,
That's what I
feeling there was a theme to that
He
comment.
needs one now.
Yeah, buddy.
Alright, who's up next? Who got some jokes?
Who's up?
Crickets?
Crickets.
Alright. Y'all, I got a story to tell y'all.
Once
Typical.
upon
Oh boy.
He went to the grocery store.
You tell.
He went there the
Oh,
other
boy.
day to get some laundry detergent. Now the grocer asked him why he needed such a large box of detergent. The man had like one of them 40-pound boxes of detergent. Thibodeau says, well, that's to give my coon dog a bath. And you know how big he is. Down the grocery says, well, Tib, I don't think you should use that stuff on your dog. It ain't made for a dog. It's too strong and it might get him sick. Might even kill him. But Thibodeau had his mind made up, y'all. And he took the detergent anyway. Now, about a week later, he passed by the store again. And the grocer asked him how his dog was doing. Thibodeau said, well, he died.
Aww.
The grocer says, Tib, I tried to tell you that stuff was too strong. You see what happened to you? Thibodeau said, oh, no. I don't think it was detergent that killed him. I think it was a spin cycle.
Oh, God.
Shame on y'all for laughing.
I did not. That was not That's funny. Poor pup.
Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they stole a garbage truck from Baton Rouge and were driving to Texas to get a cup of coffee. Now, traveling around Breaux Bridge, a Louisiana state trooper pulled them over and soon became suspicious. The trooper shamed him, saying, why didn't you just steal a nice car instead of a garbage truck? Boudreaux replied, what? A garbage truck? He thought it was a Winnebago. Nah, coon asses ain't dumb. Many years ago, Boudreaux went to the preacher And he announced, he said, "Preacher, I want an annulment for Marie." And the preacher says, "But Boudreaux, why? Y'all just got married yesterday." Boudreaux said, "Well, I think she's my sister." And the preacher said, "No,
Uh-oh.
Boudreaux, I've been knowing both of you all your lives. I know y'all not related. She can't be your sister. What makes you think that she is your sister?" And Boudreaux, he tells the preacher, he says, "Well, last night when we was getting undressed for bed, Marie looked at me up and looked at me down, and I swear I heard her say under her breath, 'Oh, brother.'" Y'all are clutch. Alright. Fiddler, come on, bro.
Alright, buddy.
Hey, Fiddler!
Alright, everybody, let's welcome up the Fiddler to the stage.
They do.
And we almost collided.
I wait for you these days. Hey everyone, good evening. We've had some awesome comedians up here already. I can't see the room. There we go.
We can't see you. Go forward.
Well, I'm going to. There's a damn chair in my way. There we go.
Damn chair.
There you go.
Okay. You all know what type of jokes I tell, stupid 21-liners.
Yes.
Oh, love him.
Okay. Give it to me. Give it to me, she yelled. I'm so wet. Give it to me now. She could scream all she wanted, but I was keeping that damn umbrella. Two men broke into a drugstore and stole all the Viagra. The police put out an alert to be on the lookout for two hardened criminals. They say that during sex you burn off as many calories as running 8 miles. Who the hell runs 8 miles in 30 seconds? All right.
Oh, God.
Why do walruses love a Tupperware party?
Why?
They're always on the lookout for a tight seal.
A tight seal!
I'll admit it, I have a tremendous sex drive. My girlfriend lives 40 miles away.
She does.
What's the difference between kinky and perverted? Kinky is when you tickle your girlfriend with a feather. Perverted is when you use the whole damn bird.
Oh, God.
How is playing bridge similar to sex? If you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand. Why does a mermaid wear seashells? Because she outgrew her bee shells.
I like that one.
Yeah. And my last one. A guy is sitting at the doctor's office. The doctor walks in and says, I have some bad news. I'm afraid you're going to have to stop masturbating.
Oh, no.
John says, I don't understand, Doc. Why? Doctor says, because I'm trying to examine you. That's all I got.
Good
All
job.
right, Fiddler!
All right, big hand for Fiddler, y'all.
There you go.
Good job.
That was good. We had a good night. All right, last call for any jokes
Alcohol.
from y'all.
I got a dirty one if you want a dirty one.
Well, yeah, let's close it out with a dirty joke. Come on up here, Randy.
Okay, I'm coming.
Give us a dirty one and that'll wrap us up.
Only someone with a dirty mind would say that. But that's okay. That's what kind of crowd we like. Wait, I don't know up here. What the hell? That's right. That's right. Good. Yeah. You know, once upon a time, a nervous bride, on the night of her wedding, asked to see her mother. I'm worried about tonight. What are you worried about, my child? Well, I'm worried I won't feel good to my husband down there. Oh, relax, my child. I also worried about that before my wedding night. Here's what you do. Before your husband enters the marital bed, take a fresh piece of liver, cut it lengthwise, and place a slice in your vagina. Really? Trust me, my child, everything will be fine. After a beautiful ceremony and reception, the bride and groom were whisked away to their honeymoon suite. That night, while her husband prepared himself in the bathroom, she took her mother's advice and slid a fresh slice of liver into her maidenhead.
Wow.
Night went beautifully. Fireworks, rockets, and sunshine. The bride overslept and woke up exhausted. Her husband was not in bed, but a note was left on the nightstand. To my darling wife, last night was the most incredible experience of my lifetime. I don't know what I expected, but the majesty of coupling with you exceeded my wildest dreams. When I think about it as I write this, I tremble with excitement even through this glorious fatigue. I realize now that I have a new goal in life, making you the happiest woman in the world. I vow to work the rest of my days to give you everything in the world that you desire, the perfect home, anywhere you want, and as many children as you wish. I will slave daily to give you the simplest comfort you ask for. Why? Because you deserve all of this and more. You are my woman, my wife, my queen, your loving husband, Murray. P.S. Your cunt is in the sink. That terrible? I'm gonna go to hell all of that one. I got plenty of those if you like them. I know you like the dirty stuff, but I'll go away so that somebody else can tell a dirty joke.
If anybody got any jokes, now's the chance. Now I'll save them till next week.
Ah, come on, somebody's got to have a little one. Come on, come on.
Only can wait for
the
so
girl
long.
ran away because she thought it was a short fuse.
Short fuse, I love that.
Alright, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, sharing your jokes with us, sharing your laughs with us, and of course, sharing your time with us. And next week
Thank you,
is Mardi Gras, so, come dressed for Mardi Gras. And it's easy. You can wear the same clothes that you wear for a match game.
Yeah, because it's going to be the same.
Yeah, the stage is all set up for Mardi Gras.
Hey, Jim, is there Derby on Wednesday?
Yes, there will be Derby Wednesday, and we'll send out a notice later.
have a theme
No,
yet?
there's no derby tomorrow. There's
No?
not supposed to be.
Yeah, no.
No?
No, there's a wedding.
Yeah, there's gonna be that wedding. Yeah.
Bobby's wedding's tomorrow.
Remember,
He said it
Jim?
in last week's notice.
Oh,
No derby
really?
Wednesday.
On a Wednesday?
I didn't
Oh,
get invited
shoot,
to the
I
wedding.
remember that. What time?
4 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Oh, crap. I may
getting
not be
married?
back. Oh,
Bobby, the owner of Crash Derby. Crash